Hello, everybody, and hello to everybody who's going to be catching the replay. Be sure and say hello and introduce yourself. My name is Lisa Rose. I am a love and dating coach, and I'm the founder of Deeper Love, Better Sex, where I support successful singles who basically hate to date and are ready to give it up because they think it's a waste of their time. I help them get excited and fall in love with dating so they don't give up before they meet their match. And I want to say that the reason that I talk about this so much is because, of course, most people, not everybody, most people who are dating, who here is dating, right? Just raise your hand, give me an emoji, give me some hearts, just say, let me know. Most people who are dating to meet somebody great, right? That's the point. They want a partner, they want maybe to create a family, they want to live with somebody. That's the end game. And of course, that's a wonderful thing. But what would it be like if you got that and you also got to enjoy yourself along the way, rather than go through this roller coaster ride of highs and lows and disappointments and letdowns and frustrations and movies and stories and decisions, right? So the reason I talk about this so much is because I've been in a number of long-term relationships. About a year and a half ago, I parted from a man that I had been with for many years. Hey, if you guys feel like introducing yourself, feel free. And so I am back in the dating world. And what I'm discovering is that when I combine all of kind of the relationship tools and skills that I am very fortunate because I have spent a lot of effort and energy learning them, and they serve me really well. So when I combine my relationship toolkit with all of the things that we know about law of attraction, which are very powerful, I know you guys know that, what I have discovered is that it's a really great recipe for keeping the process that can be one of probably the most challenging. I mean, some of the stories that I hear from some of my clients when we're first starting to work together, they say things like, I'm never going on a date again. There are no good men out there. Why are all the women so flaky, right? These are like really broad sweep decisions that are very different than, wow, I'm so looking forward to meeting my next partner. I am so full of expectation and anticipation for how great it's going to be. I am so excited about what life is going to bring me now that I know that my vibration is in alignment with what I most desire. Okay, so you kind of feel that there's a big difference. And I used to really suffer when I dated years ago because it was like there was this big dangling carrot, this big brass ring that I was trying to grab. Basically, I was trying to get somewhere rather than enjoying the process. So I want to tell you a personal story that will illustrate how this actually goes down for me and what the things are that I do now that help make the process not just tolerable, but actually fun. So a couple of weeks ago, I went out with a man. It was a first date. And we actually had a pretty nice time. There was nice conversation. We laughed. There was an ease and a flow, and I felt some attraction to him. If you've heard me talk before, you know that I don't invest much. I don't really make any big decisions until quite a few dates down the road. But what I did know is that it was a nice enough time. It felt like there was some nice synergy and nice chemistry that we both felt interested in getting together again. And we talked about that when we were together on the first date. We also talked a little bit about there was a bigger geographical distance between us than would be ideal because it meant one of us was going to be spending a fair amount of time in the car, which obviously, that's not ideal. But we talked about that. And alongside that, there was also stated mutual interest and desire to do that. So a couple days went by and I didn't hear from him. And, I know what it's like when a man is really interested. You hear from them. I'm sure the men out there can attest to that when you are really wanting to pursue a woman, you let that be known. And I do not pursue men. And I teach my clients not to pursue men because it's not really part of being in the receptive state, right? So I just kind of reached out to him just to kind of check in. And long story short, essentially what he was expressing was that as he thought about it and he thought about his schedule and he thought about what it would mean to actually spend that amount of time in a car on any kind of a regular basis, it just wasn't practical for him. Here's the thing. I wish that he would have communicated in a different way. I wish that he would have been more upfront and more direct and more willing to tell me the truth. He was a little cagey and a little squirrely, and I'm just a fan of direct communication. I just think it makes things so much easier, and in the long run and the short run, it really serves relationship. So that would have been my preference. I can't control what he did. That's not the way that he showed up. It was disappointing to me, and it was disappointing on two levels. I think I'm always disappointed when somebody doesn't have the guts, doesn't have the spine to just show up and say, I've given it some thought. I really enjoyed meeting you. It was nice to connect with you, but here's what's also real for me, right? But also, I was a little bit disappointed because I had some interest in, getting to know him a little bit more. Here's what I would have done in the past. We're talking years ago. I would have blown it up. I would have made a big story. I would have made a big story about both feeling the disappointment about him deciding not to pursue it, but more importantly, I would have made the disappointment about the way that he kind of communicated that, the way that he chose to show up around that. I would have made a really broad sweep. I would have made some big broad sweeps about, what it means about men, and men are this way and men are that way. And it's like none of that, none of the things that I would have decided in the past would have made me feel very good and would have kept me in the vibrational alignment for what I want rather than wed me to more of what I don't want. Because you guys know that our vibration is like the glue, right? And it's either gluing us and drawing us to more of what we want, or it's gluing us and drawing us to more of what we don't want. And the thing that's so powerful about Abraham's work and staying in vibrational alignment is that we really get to choose. So fortunately today, Facebook's not really giving me a bunch of information, so I don't really see who's here. But I'm hoping if you are listening, you will introduce yourself and say hello, tell me where you are listening in from. I know this is a global group. It's one of the things I love about it. So as a result of that, whereas in the past I would have spent days or weeks kind of like ruminating in my head and having to really work with myself and talk myself out of these kind of crazy conversations that I was having, I just let it go. I just let it go. I wished him well. I didn't take any of it personally. I felt the feeling of disappointment. I didn't deny that, but I just let it move through and I just let it go. And here's the main thing. I thanked the universe that he revealed this side of himself so early on before I got any more invested, because that is not the kind of person I actually want to invest emotional energy in or my heart. So I was very grateful that he had revealed that part of himself to me very early on so I could make an informed decision. So I hope this is resonating with you guys, because I just want to say that this is the kind of thing, when I first start working with a client, they've usually dug themselves kind of into a hole. They're not enjoying the dating process. So I kind of come in as like the date whisperer. And a lot of times we start with just addressing some of the attitudes that they're holding, some of the beliefs, some of the stuff from their past that they haven't really worked out the kinks yet. So it's still very much informing what they think is possible. And then they keep getting more stuff that they don't like, and then they want to tell me, see, this is the truth. So one of the things that I love about what I do with my clients is I just help them do all the things that I do in my own dating journey that keeps it light and keeps it fun and keeps it enjoyable. Because if we're going to invest time and energy into something, wouldn't you rather have a good time? So if you have any questions about this, please leave them in the comments. I will go back and look. I can't see any of them now, but I will. And if there's anything that's coming up for you in your dating journey, whether you're a man or you're a woman, you're hitting a snag, leave it in the comments. And if you want to really kind of transform your dating experience from something that is a drag or something that you're tolerating or something that you're scratching your head going, why is this so difficult? Why can't I just meet my match? Let's have a conversation because I can definitely help you turn that around. You can find me at deeperlovebettersex.com. I host a Facebook group here on Facebook called The Love Room. And if you'd like to be in touch with me and have, I offer my intro coaching session. It's a love and dating breakthrough. And it's a great way to start to just get you on the other side of what your biggest struggle is, why it is that you're not attracting the kind of person you want to, why it is that you feel anxious or upset before a date, or that you can't relax on a date, or any of the other ways that dating can potentially be less than stellar. So reach out to me, leave your questions here, and I look forward to getting you started on some great dates. Have a great day. Bye.